This PPT is visible, right? Is this
Yes, ma'am.
okay? So we'll move on with the next topic, that is list like types. So in the previous session we already seen what is list. So in simple words, if we're saying list is nothing but order sequence of values. So whatever values are there inside the list, we can call them as items also. Okay. So we had already seen many topics under that. So we'll go with the next topic, that is list like types. So under this we are seeing the types can be either strings or it can be tuples. Okay. So list aren't the only data type that represent order sequence of values. So we already saw about list. We said that it consists of order sequence of values. So what we are saying here is list aren't the only one. We also have others. So that others are nothing but we can say it as strings. Okay. So example, we can say strings is similar to the list. Okay. But the only difference is in case of strings, if it will be in terms of you can say it as uh, single characters. Okay, single text characters when you're representing strings. The next point what you can say here is many of the things you can do with the list can also be done with the strings. So already we have seen what is indexing. Indexing is nothing but in arrays how you have the index. So similarly here in the list also, each of the values can be represented, or to access any values you can go for indexing. Then also we had seen about slicing. So under slicing, what we said is we are giving the range. So if you're telling the name of the list is some, what name we can give? Test. If the name of the list is test, so if you're giving a test and within the square bracket, if you're giving 0 colon 5, so what happens? Test of 0, test of 1, test of 2 up to test of 4 will be displayed. So that was what we had seen under slicing. And using them with for loops, that also we have already seen. And also length function, which is going to give you the length of the particular list. And also with in and not in operator. So in and not in operator, in is used, it will return true if the string what you have passed is there, or the value what you have passed is there in the list, it is going to return true. And not in, when that value is not there in the list, then it is going to return true value. Okay. So we'll just see all these things with an example. So we'll go to our interactive shell here. So already I have okay, so we'll create a list called as name, and in that list I'll give a name called as Zophie. Okay. So I'll give a name called as Zophie. Now what are we saying? We will see how you can get. So in this list, you have the string whose name is a string with the name Zophie. So how we can access each of the elements? So if I'm giving name of one, then what happens? Name of one is nothing but, so how this list will be stored? Name of 0 you will have Z, name of 1 you will have O. So you can see here O will be displayed. That is nothing but this is how your list is stored. Okay. Now if I'm saying name of, so we had also spoken about negative index. So negative index means if I'm giving name of -2. So we had said that if you're given -1, then it will be the last one. If you're giving -2, then it is last but one. -3, last but one of that. So now I've given -2. So the result will be I. Okay. So this is how you're doing the indexing part. Next one we'll see about slicing. How you can perform the slicing. So if I'm telling 0 to 4. If I'm telling 0 to 4, then what is the meaning of this? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3. That is index position 0. Like this it will be displayed. So index 0 you have Z, index of that is index position 1 you have O, 2 you have P, and H you have 3. So what is the meaning of this? 0 to 4, when we say starting from 0, but 4 is not included, so you have to go up to 3. Okay, so that is one technique. Other than that, we can also see this in operator. So we'll check whether zo is in our list is name. So you can see here zo, that is, here you have um, the first character as z and the next one is o, so it is there in the list, so it is returning a true value. Suppose I say p in name. Now in this case, what happens? It is returning a false value. Why? We have a lowercase p, but what I am giving, I have given an uppercase p. Okay, so because of that, it is giving you a false value. Now same thing, same, I'll give uppercase p only, and I'll give, instead of in, I will give it as not in. So when I'm giving not in, what happens? Not there in this list. Yes, capital P is not there in the list, so it is giving you a true value. Okay, other than this, we can also use this in for loops. So just check out. Okay, so I'll just copy paste this code, or I'll just run this. That will be better. I'll just run this code. So you can see here, we are using it in for loop. Okay, so you can see here for I in name. So for I in name, what is the meaning of this? Starting from 0 to all the characters here. Okay, so what is happening? You're just printing the value of I, that is value of I, in the sense I will be 0, 1, 2, like this it goes up to all the characters what is there in your list. Okay, so what happens? First z will be printed, then I val will be o, then I val will be p, like this. So that is how the result you have got here. So you'll be getting the result this way. This is how you can use the different like for and operators, indexing and slicing with respect to list. Okay, and next we'll go to the next thing, that is mutable and immutable data types. So what can be the meaning of this mutable and immutable types? So we'll just see that. So list and strings are different in an important way. What is that important way? That is mutable and immutable data types. Okay, a list value is mutable data type. So when you say mutable, mutable is something which can be changed. So what you can do in that, it can have values added, it can have values removed or changed. So what we are saying, list values are mutable data type. Whereas in case of string, if you're speaking, then it is immutable. So this is a major difference between list and strings. Okay. So list, when you say, it is mutable. On the other way, you can say values can be changed, any addition can be done or any deletion can be done. Whereas in case of string, it is immutable, which cannot be changed. Okay. So we'll just see with an example. So what we are saying, if you're trying to assign a single character in a string, so that will result in a type error. So we'll just see that with an example program here. So we have for mutable. Okay, so we'll just copy this. Now we'll just check it out in the ideally. So I've given name as Zophie, a cat, and name of 7. I'm trying to initialize with a string here. So what we are telling, trying to reassign a single character in a string. So you're trying to reassign something. What you're trying to reassign? That the. Okay, you're trying to reassign, or you are trying to place that the in a string. So what did we say? String is immutable, so you cannot change it. So for that purpose, just check out. So what we are telling, this is a string. Okay, and you're trying to reassign that. So just check out. So we got an error as type error. So this is because we are trying to alter the string data. So because of that, you're getting that error. Okay. So that is about the first thing. Now how you can. It's also possible. Okay, we'll just see with other examples here. So we can say the way how to mute a string. So we said the string is immutable. So if you're trying to reassign a single character to a string, then it will result in an error. But there is a way how you can mute a string. How we can do that is, um, where is it? One second. So how we can do that is by using this slicing technique. So you can slice, okay? That is, you can slice and then you can concatenate. And that time what happens is a resulting new string will be generated. How it will be generated? By copying this entire thing. Okay. So we'll just see this. So, okay. So under name, we'll check out. Under name, you have Zophie cat. Now, what are we trying to do? We are going to create a new string. So, what did we say? In that same, that is assignment, if you're going to do, then it is not possible. But if you are doing like this, then you are creating a new string. Okay. So I'll just copy it here. So if you're giving name, then it is Sophia cat. If you're giving new name, then it will be the new one what you have created from this particular name. Okay. So what are you doing here? You can see here 0 to 7. That is slicing. You are slicing this name. So in zeroth place you have Z, then first you have O, then second P, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So you have given the range as 0 to 7. So you're going only from 0 to 6. So this till this space it will be there. Okay. Then after that what you're doing? You are concatenating. So you can see here plus. And what are you concatenating? You're concatenating this string the. And after that, so what will happen now? Zophie will be there, and after that, instead of this, after the space, you'll be having the, and the next data what you'll have is 8 to 12. So what is 8 to 12? So till here it is 6. Then 7 is this A. 8 will be space. 9, 10, 11, and last again space. So that is, so whatever you have given inside this slice, these are the data what you require. You don't want it to be altered. Okay. So that is how it is done. So you can see here instead of Zophie a cat, it has been replaced to the cat. So this way you are trying to change something, that is you are trying to mute. Okay. Mutable. I hope I'm clear with this. So what you have done, you can go in for slicing. So whenever you're going for slicing, you're specifying the range. So this left side what you have is a lower one and right side is the highest one. So you're not going till 7 but you're going till 6. 0 to 7 means 6 characters will be considered, and after that the that is sixth character will be till this space, and a is replaced by this the. So how you have to write? You have to use the concatenation operator, that is plus. And after that, what is the next data you require? That is from 8 to 12. 8 to 12 you have cat. Okay. So this is about the mutating. Okay. And next you have one more example. We'll just check out that. Okay. So you have and one more x you have. So what are we doing here? Um, okay. So here you can see here once you have initialized to 1, 2, 3, and again you have initialized to 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is a list. So list what happens? It is mutable. Okay, so I'll just okay. So you can see here the final values in the X list is 4, 5, 6. So here what happens is the list value in the X, the values are not changed, but what is happening is entire new list is created here. Okay, so what you're doing here, you're not altering the values here, but instead you're creating a new list called as X. So that is what happens here. So they have given a diagram. Hmm. Okay, so this is what the diagram is telling you. So in X, initially you had in this list X you had 1, 2, 3. But what happens once again when you give X is equal to 4, 5, 6, that 1, 2, 3 is removed off and a new list is created here. Okay, that is what they are saying. So instead of creating a new list, instead of going for a new list, what we can do, in the same list, how you can change the values. So for that, what are required here, you can see here, initially you have 1, 2, 3. Then what you're doing, you are deleting the index. So here it is X of 0, 1, 2. So first you will be deleting X of 2. So when you say X of 2, then 3 will be removed or deleted. Then X of 1, then 2 will be deleted. Then X of 0, then 1 will be deleted. Now what you should do, then after that what you're going to do, you are going to append, you're going to append 4. So again the new value 4 is added. Then you're going to append 5, append 6. So here what happens, new list is not created, but in the same list you are modifying. Whereas in the first example what happens, a new list is created there. Okay, so that is a difference between the two. We'll just see the program. Okay, I've not written that. Okay, here is a program. So I'll just check out in this. So we'll just see what happens in this case. So I'll give here print and give print x. So if you're executing, if you're running this in the ideally, then you can just write x. But since I'm showing here, we need to write print. So here, what is happening in the beginning? So you have x, you are initializing, that is a list is created with the value 1 to 3. Then what are you going to do, you are deleting x of 2. So what happened, 3 is deleted. Again x of 1, then x of 0. So what happened, now your empty, your list is empty. Now you're going to append 4, then 5 is appended, then 6 is appended. Finally you're going to display the list. So what we are telling here, in the same list, okay, in the previous example you are creating a new list, so that is what is shown in the diagram. So the first list is removed out and the new list is created, whereas in the next example, in the same list you are updating, you're deleting and again appending new values. Okay, so that is what the example is telling. Next we'll go with the next topic, that is tuple data type. So tuple data type is similar to the list data type. So list, how we are writing the values within the square bracket. So this tuple data type is also similar to the list data type, but a slight difference. What is the difference is, in tuples are typed within parentheses, whereas in case of list we were using square bracket, right? So you can just see here, in list we are using square brackets, but whereas in case of tuples we are using parentheses. Okay, and tuples cannot have their values modified, appended or removed. That is nothing but tuples are immutable. Okay. We'll just see with an example for tuples data type. Okay. So we said that tuples can be, we are not using the square bracket, instead we are using the parenthesis. Okay, so previously what we had a list. In list, what we are doing, you're giving the values inside the square bracket, but here it is inside the parenthesis. Okay, now suppose I will tell x of 0. I want to know what is the first element there, then I can give x of 0. The first data here is hello. Now same thing if I am using the slicing. Okay, now in this case slicing, now I don't want the first value, that is hello, I don't want after that, so I'll give 1 1 2. I need this and I need this. Okay, so I will give 3. So if I'm giving 3, what happens? X of 1 and x of 2. Okay, so both will, so the meaning of this is starting from 1, that is x of 1 and x of 2. 3 is not included. So you can see the result is this way. So just see here, it is coming or it is displaying in the form of parenthesis. So that is representing your tuple data type. If it was a list, then it would be displayed in the form of square bracket. Okay, so that's the difference. And same thing, next one you can go for the length function. Length of x. So what can be the length of x? So you can see here in your tuple data type, you have three values. So you can see you're getting the result as 3. Okay, so that is about just a brief explanation about tuples. So what we are saying, tuples value cannot be modified, that is nothing but they are mutable. Okay, but whereas when you say a string, they are mutable. Okay, so we'll just go for one more example. Okay, we'll just go for one more example here. So x, yeah, x already it is having, what is it? Okay, so we'll just check out what is there in X. So in X you have hello, 42 and 0.5. Okay. So what we are telling, tuple data type cannot be modified. So what I will do, X of 1. Now in X of 1 what we have 42. Okay. Now I'll try to change that value to 78. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to change the value. Okay, so now you can see here we are getting a type error. Why? Because tuple data type cannot be modified. Okay, so because of that we are getting that error. Next we'll go for one more thing. Okay, appended or removed. Then if you have only one value in your tuple, then you can indicate this by placing a trailing comma after the value inside the parenthesis. So what is the meaning of this? We'll see. So if you're having only one value, so if you're having only one value in your tuple, that is a, then in that case how you can represent it? You can represent it with the trailing comma after the value. So this is what we are speaking about. Just show you. So we have only one value, that is hello. Okay, it is represented inside the parenthesis. So that is your tuple data type. So what are you having here? You're having just the tuple. Okay. The same thing, one more. Okay. One more example that is representing a string. So if it is a string, then you can just type it this way. So in this case, it is going to tell you that it is a string. Okay. So these are the different ways or the details about tuple data type. Next, we'll go for the next one, that is converting types with the list and tuple functions. So under this, the first thing what we are saying here is if you have a string 42. So if you are writing string 42, then it will be represented this way within quotes. The string representation of integer 42 We can have the functions like list and tuple, which will return a list as well as tuple versions of what value you have passed. Okay, so using this list and tuple, we can have the versions of that particular value in terms of list as well as in terms of tuple. So again, we'll go with the example. So okay, we'll just see the example. So first thing is for tuple. So I'll give like this. Okay. So you can see here we have a tuple, and inside that we have list kind of information we have given, but how it is displayed, it is displayed in the form of tuple. Similarly, the next one, this is a list. Okay, so you can see here you have given list followed by some data you have passed. So how it will be displayed, it will be displayed in the form of list. So that is what we are telling here. The string representation of in this case integer 42, the function list and tuple. So that is what the functions we are speaking about, that is the function tuple and list. So what does this function tuple and list do? They will return list as well as tuple versions of the value that you have passed. So what are the values you have passed? You have passed for tuple, you have passed this value, so it will return the value in the form of a tuple. Whereas in this case, it will, since you have given the list function, it is going to give you the answer in the form of list. Similarly, one more list, and you have passed a string. You have passed a string. So since it is a list, it is going to return the value in terms of list. So the string here, you have passed the string, so it will be like this. So the first, it is list of 0, you will have H, list of 1, you will have E, like this it goes on. Okay, so this is about converting types with list and tuple functions. So if you are using the list function, then the values will be displayed in the form of a list. So when you say in the form of a list means it will be in the square bracket. When you are passing the value to the tuple function, then it will return the value in terms of a tuple. So tuple means values will be written in within the parenthesis. Okay, that's all the difference. Next we'll go to references. So you can assign a list to a variable. You are actually assigning a list references to the variable. So we've already learnt about this pass by value and pass by reference in your lower semester. So that concept we are speaking again. Okay. So I hope you know the difference between pass by value and pass by reference. So in pass by value, what happens? You're just copying, you're just sending the copy of the value, right? So any changes that has happened within the function which will not be reflected back in the calling function. But whereas in case of pass by reference, you're sending the address. So any changes that has happened in the within the function will be reflected back, right? So something similar to that we will see here. So what is reference? So we'll just see with an example. So when you assign a list to a variable, you are actually assigning the list reference to the variable. Okay, a reference is a value that points to some bit of data, and a list reference is a value that points to the list. So reference is a value, okay, that will be pointing to either a particular bit of a data or it might be pointing to a list. Again, we'll go with the example. Okay, okay, we'll go with an example here. So okay, we have, just copy this. So I have spam is equal to some value 40. Then I will assign that spam to cheese. Okay. So what are we doing here? We have a spam variable which is initialized with the value 40, and then we are copying the value in spam and we are assigning it to a variable called as cheese. Okay. Oh, sorry. Spam equal to some value 40 and spam. And now we will do one more assignment, that is when we are trying to change the value of spam. So we are trying to change the value of spam to 100. Okay, we are changing the value of spam to 100, and now you just check out what will be the value of spam. So what is happening here, it is remaining 100 only, and when you say the value of cheese, it will remain 40. So what has happened here, here the spam value initially was 40 that you have assigned to cheese, so that cheese value is 40, but whereas the spam value has been overridden to 100. Okay, so we will see with another example. So I'll just show it in the visual. Okay, so I'll just give print spam, and I'll give print cheese. Okay, we'll just see what happens here. So first you are going to initialize spam, then after that you are going to whatever is there in spam that you're assigning it to cheese. Now when you say cheese of 1, cheese of 1, what you had previously, in cheese of 1 you had 1, so now you are assigning it to hello. Okay, now we can just print spam. So just what we want to say here is both spam and cheese are pointing to the same list. That is what we want to tell here. Okay, so now you can see if you're telling print spam, the same value will be this value will be printed 0 hello 2 3 4 5, and if you're saying print cheese also, the same value will be printed. So what we want to tell here is both the spam as well as cheese are pointing to the same location. Okay, so that is shown diagrammatically. So you can see here, see the reference spam 0123, as well as next if you're speaking about cheese. So here see, when you say spam is equal to cheese or you're assigning, so what is happening, whatever value is there in spam that you're assigning to cheese, so both spam and cheese will be pointing to the same list. Okay, that is one example. Again here you can see both are having the same reference. Also you can see the reference id also, both are referencing to the same location. So this is the same thing what is given diagrammatically for you. And the next part is passing reference. So again this is about your references are particularly important for understanding how arguments get passed. That is, as we told previously, that is passed by value and passed by reference. Okay. When a function is called, the values of the arguments are copied to the parameter variables. So when a function is called, so what happens? You are passing some arguments. That arguments will be placed in the function header, right? In the function header, what variable you have declared, it will be passed over there or copied over there. For list, this means a copy of the reference is used for the parameter. So you are copying the reference, that is to the parameter. Okay, so we'll see it with an example. Okay, so we'll see with this example. So first is you are defining the function with the function name is x, and the parameter you're passing is some parameter, and the list you are initializing with 1 2 3. You have initialized the list with 1 2 3, and next you are passing this list as a parameter to x. Okay, so now what happens, some parameter is having this list, so some parameter is also referencing to the same location, that of list. So now next, so you are appending, so to this some parameter you are appending, what are you appending, you are appending hello. Okay, so you can see here now what happened, the appended value is shown here in the list. So again see here, it is referencing to the same address location, that is list. Now if you're telling print spam, so the next statement that should be printed is spam, right? So you can see the result that is printed is 1 2 3 hello. So what is happening here, the same address location, that is it is referencing, that is of list. So that is about passing references. Next, copy module, that is you're using the copy function and you're using the deep copy function. So here deep copy means you can say it as pass by value, and when you say copy function, that is nothing but pass by reference. Okay, so again we will go with an example. Although passing around references is often the easiest way with the list as well as dictionaries. Dictionaries we are going to see in the next module. If the function modifies the list that is passed, then we may not want these changes to be in the original list. So if the function is modifying any data, then we, if we don't want that value to be we don't want that value to be changed, that is in that case what we are using pass by value, right? So in pass by value what happens, function is making some modification, but that modification is not visible in the main program. That is what we are saying pass by value. So that is the task done by deep copy. But whereas in the next case, Python provides a module named copy that provides both the copy. Yeah, this what they're saying here in the next point is they're speaking about a module. That module it's named as copy. So in this module copy, it is having two functions, that is copy function as well as deep copy. Okay. First of this is copy can be used to make a duplicate copy of the mutable value. So don't get confused with all those things. They are nothing but they are speaking about copy is nothing but pass by reference. In your lower semester, what you have seen pass by reference or call by reference, that is a task done by copy. Whereas deep copy is nothing but pass by value, okay, or call by value. That is a task done by this deep copy. So again, we have an example program for this. We'll just see with an example program. So I'll just copy this. So I'll just say print spam, print cheese. So here you can see we have used copy. Copy is nothing but it is equivalent to pass by reference, okay, in which you're passing the address. So when you're passing the address, what happens? Any changes that has happened, that will be visible. Okay, if you want to go for pass by value, okay, pass by value or call by value, in that case instead of copy, you can go for this deep copy. Okay, only that is a difference. Instead of copy, you can go for deep copy. So we'll just see what happens in this copy. So what we said, copy is equivalent to reference. That means you're passing the address. Okay, so For this, if you're using this copy or if you're using this deep copy function in your program, then you have to import this module called as copy. So what happened now, this module has been imported. Now in your list spam you have the value abcd. Then next what you're doing, you're having one more list called as cheese, and this is copy.copy. Copy.copy means it is address. Okay, you are it is called by address, that is called by reference or pass by reference. You're passing the address. So here what you're doing, cheese 1, so cheese of 1, you are changing the value. Instead of b you're changing it to 42. Okay, so you can see here it has been changed to 42. Now what are you printing? You're printing spam. Okay, you want to print spam. So in this case here what has happened, only in this particular location it has been changed, whereas in spam it will be as it is. So if you're printing cheese, then the changed value is visible, but in spam what happens, the original value only will be there. Okay, so that is about your copy.copy. Same thing you can also go for deep copy also. So if you need to copy the contents of a list, then you can go for deep copy instead of copy.copy, in which it will copy the inner list. Okay, so this is all about your in the module 2, the first chapter, that is about list. So under list, this is the last topic, just the references. Okay, so what in all we have learned in list. So first of all, what is list? Then we had seen about we had what is list. Then we had seen about the data types, then how you can index, then negative indexes wherein you can come from the backward direction. Then we saw about slices where you can specify the range. Then we had seen the length function, then how you can change the index. Then we had also seen about concatenation and replication, wherein the same operator, that is plus and multiplication, we had used. Then we had seen the delete statement, how we can delete a particular value from the list. Then under working with the list, we had seen working with the for loop. Then in and not operator, that is just telling whether the value is there in the list or not. If it is there, it is giving, if you're using in, and if the value is there in the list, it is going to give you a true value. And if you're using not in, and if that value is not there, then it is going to return true, otherwise it will return false. Then multiple assignment. Then augmented is nothing but it is equivalent to your shorthand operator. Then methods are nothing but functions. Under that we had seen index, then how you can append, how you can insert, then how you can remove. So these are the different functions what we had seen. Sort function we had seen. Then we had seen an example program. This program you need to know. Then today's was about strings, tuples, mutable, unmutable, then tuple data type, then about list and tuples, then references. Okay, so that is all. Okay, so this is the diagram that is given for your copy and deep copy. So if you are using copy dot copy, what happens? Reference ID numbers are no longer same. Okay, independent list. So same thing you can go for deep copy also. So with this, we are done with the first chapter of the second module. Still, you have two more chapters, that is related to dictionaries and how you are manipulating the string. So we'll see those in the next classes. So thank you all for joining the session.